Today, we're exploring 5 forgotten phones that secretly started the mobile revolution, including a 21-pound portable that lived in your trunk. April 3rd, 1973. A Motorola engineer stands on a Manhattan sidewalk, holding something that looks like a shoebox. He dials his biggest rival and says, "Joel, I'm calling you from a real handheld cellular phone." That engineer was Martin Cooper, and he was literally calling to gloat that Motorola had just beaten AT&T in the race to create the world's first handheld mobile phone. Motorola DynaTAC. When people think of first mobile phone, this is usually what comes to mind. After all, the DynaTAC 8000X was the first handheld cellular phone you could actually buy. And buy it people did. For $3,995 in 1983. Just for reference, that's about $10,000 in today's money. Let's talk specs. And try not to laugh. The DynaTAC gave you a whopping 30 minutes of talk time before needing a 10-hour recharge. Did I mention that it weighed 1.75 pounds? Still interested? Also, you only got 30 contacts. That's right, no texting, no games, no internet. Compare that to today's $200 smartphones, with all-day battery life, gigabytes of storage, cameras, apps, games. It's almost comedic. But the crazy part, it worked. Motorola's engineers, led by Martin Cooper and Rudy Krolop, spent a decade refining the device. Internally, it packed MOS-based transceivers, multiple circuit boards, a big nickel-cadmium battery, 21 push buttons, and a simple red light-emitting diode display. This would kick off the entire mobile phone industry. There were waiting lists to get one. Executives, the wealthy, and Wall Street types just had to have it. It became the ultimate status symbol of the 80s. Fun fact, if you've seen Wall Street with Michael Douglas, his character Gordon Gekko uses one of these to make his money never sleeps calls from the beach. That scene alone probably sold thousands of DynaTACs. Collectors now pay around $20,000 for a working unit in mint condition. Motorola MicroTAC. That engineer was Martin Cooper. When Motorola unveiled the MicroTAC 9800X on April 25th, 1989, it set a new bar for what portable could mean. At 12.3 ounces with a slim battery, it was half the size of its DynaTAC ancestor, but every bit as bold, a clamshell flip that folded the mouthpiece over the keypad, making you feel like you were dialing up the Starship Enterprise. Under that smart little hood sat an 8-character red dot matrix LED display and a full alphanumeric phone book. Sticker price hovered around $2,995, about $6,450 today, and it ran on analog ETACs and AMPS networks, so coverage was spotty outside major cities. Early adopters, sales execs, trendsetters, people who like to show off, snapped them up. Motorola didn't stop at one flavor. Variants popped up. A green backlit LCD for Italy's SIP network, dual band versions for Norway's NMT users, even VIP editions with black housings and gold lettering. Each retained that signature flip and shared interchangeable batteries and accessories. Car chargers, desktop docks, extended life packs. Speaking of car chargers, here's the plot twist. Nokia Mobira. Senator. You probably think Nokia's story kicked off in the 90s with Snake. Nope. In 1982, long before texting, there was the Mobira Senator, and it predates the DynaTAC 8000X by a full year. But mobile is generous. This was a true car phone that lived in your trunk, powered by a 12-volt lead-acid module, with only a handset up front. If you wanted to make a call, you stayed parked. At roughly 9.8 kilograms, 21.6 pounds, it wasn't something you casually slung over your shoulder for a stroll. Running on Finland's brand new 1G NMT 450 network, Nordic Mobile Telephony, which launched in 1981, the Senator let you roam across Scandinavian borders, a big deal at the time, though coverage was limited to major highways and cities. Over the next 2 years, Mobira refined its design into the Senator Combi, a briefcase-style unit whose car-mounted head could slot into a carry case and become portable. You still weren't tossing it in a coat pocket, but you could step out of your car and keep talking if you were fit and determined enough. A myth to bust. This wasn't a pure Nokia project. It came from Mobira Oy, the joint venture Nokia formed with Celora in 1979. Celora provided electronics chops, and Nokia lent its name and distribution. Nokia didn't fully swallow Celora until 1984, so credit for the senator belongs to Mobira, not Nokia alone. Vodafone VT1. Now, let's talk about a phone that doesn't get nearly enough credit in mobile history. The Vodafone VT1, Europe's first true taste of portable cellular. When recall Vodafone flipped its tax network live at midnight on January 1st, 1985, Michael Harrison, son of Chairman Sir Ernest Harrison, snuck out to Parliament Square with a 5-kilogram VT1 Talkman in hand and placed that inaugural Happy New Year dad call. The VT1 ran on two 6-volt gel cell batteries, delivered about 45 minutes of talk time and around 8 hours of standby. The price tag was eye-watering. 1,475 pounds for the transportable unit, or 1,650 pounds with the car kit, equivalent to roughly 4,500 to 5,000 pounds today. This was mid-80s Britain, deep in recession, yet Vodafone had the nerve to order 5,000 VT1s from Mobira and 5,000 VM1 car phones from Panasonic back in 1983, committing to 10,000 heavy handsets before launch. Despite cost, bulk, and initially patchy coverage, by the end of 1985, over 12,000 subscribers had signed up. The Nokia 3310. I know what you're thinking. The 3310 isn't one of the first mobile phones. And you're right. By the time it was released in 2000, mobile phones had already been around for decades. But I'm including it for a crucial reason. The 3310 represents the tipping point when mobile phones truly became mainstream, affordable, and practically indestructible. The Nokia 3310 sold an estimated 126 million units worldwide, making it one of the most successful phones in history. For comparison, the original Motorola DynaTAC probably sold fewer than 300,000 units total. What made the 3310 special? It could make calls, send texts, and play Snake 2. That's basically it. But that also was its superpower in a way. That reliability, that battery could last up to 260 hours on standby. The body could survive being dropped, thrown, and, according to internet legend, could probably survive a nuclear apocalypse. The memes about its indestructibility aren't just jokes. The 3310 was also affordable, priced around $150 when new. This put mobile communication within reach of students, working-class families, and people in developing nations. It also introduced millions of people to text messaging. The T9 predictive text system on the 3310 made texting fast enough to be practical for everyday use. Many of us learned to text without looking at the keypad on this very device. The technology evolved insanely fast, but the basic human desire these phones tapped into remains the same. We want to connect with each other, regardless of where we are. If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe for more deep dives. Drop a comment letting me know which of these phones you remember seeing in real life, or if you were lucky or crazy enough to actually own one.